Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing my custom LEGO Transformers Skybound Optimus Prime. But before we get into it, if you like these type of videos, please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more LEGO Transformers. So, here he is in his truck mode. And obviously he does have the Megatron arm and fusion cannon, like he does in Skybound. I've not actually read the comics, however, this just looks like a pretty cool design, and I wanted to try make it in LEGO. So here he is with a couple of G1 bots, and they actually scale pretty well, especially with Bumblebee here. Considering I'd say this guy is around Legend scale, definitely nowhere near minifigure scale, and he's probably one of my smaller builds, as he's actually based off another smaller Optimus Prime that I posted a while back. And here he is with a minifigure scale truck, just to show how small he is. Obviously he can still get towed by the tow truck, so here that is. And we may as well get to the transformation soon, but the one last thing is you can actually mount the fusion cannon on the front. I have no idea if he does this in the comics, as I haven't read them. But I'd say that's about it for the truck mode, so anyways, now it's time for the transformation. But before that, I am going to be starting some channel memberships. There's going to be 3 tiers, the Minicon member, Deluxe member, and Leader Class member, which will give you early access to new videos, as well as instruction videos for some of my builds. There's also going to be members only, behind the scenes videos and shorts every week. You can find all the information on my channel page, and the cheapest membership is only £1 a month. But anyways, I think it's time we get back to the actual review. So the first step of this guy's transformation is we're actually going to spin around to that Megatron arm, and we're just going to untab the fusion cannon and leave it off to the side. Obviously this is parse forming, but I'm pretty sure this is how most of the figures that have this like Skybound transformation, this is just how they work. The next step is just untabbing and rotating out that Megatron arm. Very traditional Optimus transformation here, because the next thing we do is rotate that arm out. We can also come to this shoulder piece and rotate it up to give it that sort of Megatron shoulder spike look. We can also come to the wheel here, and we're just going to rotate it down the way. It's just on a stud joint, and a bracket piece as well. Obviously the other side is pretty much the same, so we may as well just cut to that. There is one difference however, as obviously the Optimus arm shouldn't have that shoulder spike, so it's just going to get tucked away behind the smokestacks, just like that. We can then come to the back, where you can see his head is slightly visible in truck mode, but whatever, and it will rotate up halfway. Once this is done, we can come to the arms, and just using his articulation, we can just spread them out to the side, just to give clearance for the next step, which is his torso rotation. Obviously a very traditional Prime step here, just a stud joint that's rotating around. And once this is done, we can just fold up the head entirely. Obviously we need to slide out his ears first. There's no actual like tab-in section here, it's just going to sit there using the friction joint. Once this is done, we can come to that grill section. Using the hinge, we're just going to rotate it out. And once this is done, using that swivel joint, which is using one of those studs with a hole in it, we're going to rotate this section around. And the wheels should just rest on his shoulders, as they do just get pushed in slightly. There we go. And onto the legs. The first thing we're actually going to do is take those foot pieces and rotate them halfway around. This is going to give us clearance to fold out the heels, which are these curved like macaroni pieces. So that's his heels, and we can go back to the feet, and using the ball joints they're just going to rotate back into position. The final part of the actual transformation is we're just going to come to the waist, and we're just going to rotate out the legs. Once this is done, we can come back to the fusion cannon, and it's just going to tab onto the side. It uses the same styled connection I used for vehicle mode, just in a different spot. So here is Skybound Optimus Prime. He definitely looks cool here. I'm not entirely sure if he's 100% accurate to the comics, as like I said, I've not actually read them. But from the pictures I've looked up online, this looks fairly accurate. The only thing he's really missing is proper hands. He more or less just has the studs there exposed there. Bringing back in the G1 figures though, he actually scales pretty well with them. He's also pretty clean. His backpack doesn't really exist. It's pretty flat. And I actually like how the wheels stick up above the shoulders. Here he is on the turntable so you can get a full view. He looks very good here in my opinion. There is some slight colour mismatch in the legs as there's a lighter blue going on there, but that's just because that's the only piece I had in that colour. I did not have the dark blue variant, but I don't really think that detracts from his overall look. And I do think the Megatron arm works fairly well here, even incorporating the red stripe. I also used one of those camera looking pieces for the fusion cannon, and that works fairly good here. So anyways, I'd say that's about it for this review. If you have enjoyed, please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more LEGO Transformers. And please don't feel ashamed if you want to comment down below any builds that you want me to make. Anyways, I'll see you next time.